Live, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the weekly Please Understand podcast. This is Minnesota Sports. We are, in fact, casuals. Believe it or not. Hard to believe, but sure enough. Syncing up again here on the 14th, following Wild Card Weekend. We've got some other Minnesota sports to get to as well. Gentlemen, PGA Tour season. It is back.
Here.
We needed this.
Finally.
We really did. And it's, they have the shortest off season, but man, this is the one that felt the longest. They've made some schedule changes, and I don't know, man. I need it. I need it within my Thursday routine. So good to have that back. We'll get into that. We've got Rudy getting suspended, Baron J getting an opportunity, Addison arrested, all sorts of fun stuff tonight, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, not much on the admin this eve, but, we got the QR code up in the corner. If everybody could just go ahead and subscribe to the pod on YouTube. I'm talking Spotify. I'm talking iTunes. I'm talking Apple Podcasts. I'm talking X, of course, as usual.
Oh,
Hook us up, support a small local podcast here in Minnesota. Times are shitty. Help us out. We'll help you out. You scratch our back, we'll scratch yours, as they say in the famous line in Superbad. We'll leave it at that.
Superbad.
Yeah, I think what my back is.
Yeah, it's on my podcast. No. So let's I don't have a ton of other things to get to unless you guys had anything. Phil, I know you like to talk traffic and weather.
No.
Things have been pretty stagnant there for a little while. So good to
there's
see.
nothing to go off there.
No real weather. We've kind of dodged a little bit recently, so that's good. So
storm coming tomorrow for sure.
Yeah,
you said that. So
I think there actually is
that one.
Something coming.
It actually is,
yeah.
Yeah. Way to go. It's your fault.
Yeah, fuck me. Let's kick right off. We've been leading a lot of the pods with a lot of Vikes stuff, week to week, good structure. Not a very fun season, got to be honest. Kind of glad it's over. Not a fun experience this year. And just the same shit over and over, week to week. Happy to put that on the back burner. So let's go Wolves. Good vibes right now. 16-6, I think I saw since Thanksgiving. Best in the NBA. Still kind of flying under the radar nationally, which go figure, national media doing their typical solid work as usual. Good win over the Spurs. Had a little back and forth with the Cavs. Me and Jake tried to. You cashed in. I ended up having all my NFL shit hit the fan, but you got a nice little payday with our guaranteed Wolves afternoon matinee L, which is just set your watch to that. So we're gonna just try to play the hits here tonight. Get through like the what's kind of the big storylines going on right now, and really last night just an absolute ass whooping over the Bucks. And like we were talking about, forgive us if we're not sitting too comfortable here after what happened in Milwaukee last year, but not the case this year. Hey, even these guys can live and learn a little bit. But the main story going into that, Rudy Gobert had to serve his 1-game suspension. I think he amassed 6 flagrant foul points throughout the season. Did so quite early in the year, pretty early in January to get that done. So nicely done there.
You'd really think that Draymond would have that record, but I guess not.
They treat him well. I guess flagrants. They give him a lot of the guys. They give extra rope for like technical fouls. Flagrants, it's kind of hard to do that.
It's something for him to strive for. You can't let Rudy beat him in anything. So.
Yeah, so watch out for his ass coming up. That's scary to think about. So he had to sit Tuesday against the Bucks. Ant sat out again for like injury maintenance. We can maybe talk about that here in a second, but trying to just pull up this tweet. There's Chris Hine was on this. I've heard different reports even on the broadcast of like, for this suspension going forward, like, is it carrying over into the playoffs? Like how much shit are we gonna have to deal with here? And it sounds like according to Chris Hines, so he kind of tried to clear this up. This is from January 12th. He's like, I misspoke yesterday. This has been confusing trying to clarify the intent of this rule. Gobert has 6 flagrant points. Another flagrant one will result in another 1-game suspension. If he reaches 7 flagrant points, so he gets one more suspension for a flagrant one. Each flagrant after that, I think, is a 2-game suspension. So, I mean, he's got to clean his shit up. So, I mean, Jake, how many, knowing this and knowing Rudy, how many games do you think he's going to tally up here before the season's all said and done?
There's got to be at least 2 or 3 more coming. You kind of want him to be a little bit more cautious of when he's like running out and jumping out to defend players. I know that's how he got one of his flagrants when he's obstructed the landing zone of another player. So kind of don't want him to be like, don't do that, because you don't want him to like lose his edge on defense, because he's our heart and soul of our defense. So I don't know, he's going to get a couple more. It sucks. At least it resets before going into postseason. Just hopefully he doesn't get one in game 81 or 82. So I'm pretty sure those suspensions will carry over to the first round of the playoffs. So
yeah, I would say based off the points you just said, I think 3 games is definitely a possibility at this point. I'm looking at it as he's got to clean it up, obviously, but I'm looking at it as a blessing in disguise, because it's going to give our guy Yohan a chance to play, and he looked pretty good last night. We'll get to that, I'm sure, but that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. Like we keep talking about needing a backup big, and maybe he's not the answer. He's still really young, but that's silver lining, I guess, to this whole flagrant situation.
Yeah, we've seen that kind of in the league. We saw it with Denver a week or 2 ago, just nobody suiting up. Guys are forced into playing time. It's like you can kind of discover a couple of guys that might be more ready than you think. And this is really the only way Finch will ever play guys. His hand has to be completely forced. And, there's been some stuff in the media recently of he was giving Yohan praise for his work ethic and what he's been doing in the G League. And then immediately you saw it last night, one of the biggest blowouts I can recall even in recent memory. So it's not like it was, thrown into the fire exactly, but we're looking for anything here. And if he had to give us some minutes in that situation, good for him. But as far as Rudy goes, Jake, you hit it. I think he's got at least 2 where he's been in the landing area on jump shooters. And it's I guess it's the rule. He should know better, I guess. But the one on Sunday against the Spurs, it's like a Wembanyama size foot and a Gobert. Where are you supposed to even land? It's and it didn't look like dirty or anything like that. And if you're gonna do that to SGA, just kidding.
That feels doesn't that feel like a subjective rule as far as a flagrant foul on that? Because they don't get called every single time that somebody lands in the landing zone. I mean, we just had the one that the Lakers were all pissy about with Luka against the Bucks, and that was a very similar play, and I don't think he got a flagrant foul for that. Just was 6th foul, and he was out of the game. So I don't know. I get it. It is the rule, but it is it's definitely weird. It's definitely easier to pick up flagrant fouls nowadays than it was even a few years ago.
Yeah, and he's had some he's damn sure deserved. He had a run there. I feel like he went from 2 to 6 in a month or a few weeks. He was getting into it with Josh Hart, DeAndre Hunter. I don't even know if those were instances where he even got flagrants, but he's always getting in dust ups and, and what was the one against Hunter, I think, where they ended up calling, we knew he's right on the verge of being suspended. And the Cavs had a game plan where they were kind of just cracking him when he would go to the basket, and the Sirs, of course, didn't call it. But then he gets in, DeAndre Hunter pushes him after the whistle. And Rudy's kind of trying to walk by, but then he does walk just kind of right into him on purpose. And you're just dude, he just can't resist. So he's going to get a couple more, I think. And, I think it'll also be interesting if other teams are knowing this and being hey, let's get into this guy's fucking skin a little bit. Especially if it's one of those scenarios where it's you play the same team twice in a row or something like that. You'd be let's go fucking get a flagrant on Gobert here, kicking our legs out at the 3-point line or something. and then we don't have to deal with him the
Carl.
next night. I know he's on his
Shout
own
out.
test case of like, is it a reckless closeout, or are these guys all just kicking their legs out in this bullshit officiated professional league we have to fucking deal with? So nice to see that they could survive without him. All we've seen all year is the non-Gobert minutes minus $1 million for everyone. We all suck if he's not on the floor. And yeah, I was not impressed with the Bucks, but it was good to see that there was production, and Baron J did well, right? So I think, does he throw his hat in the ring of the Ingles 4? Jake, do you think he's going to be getting the Joe Ingles 4 going forward?
I sure hope so. I think that's a perfect fit for him right now. Give him the 4 minutes where we could, or just depending on matchup, sometimes we might need another bigger guy out there. So I don't know. I think I'm not going to promise, but it's Finch, so we know it's going to be tough getting him into this rotation. But I think there's going to be at least somewhat effort on the Wolves side to at least get him to get the Joe Ingles 4, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had a great game last night overall, and I think the thing about a young guy like that too is just he's given it his all. He's given it his Nikhil effort, if you will, all the time. He's just happy to be out there. So that was good to see. He's a little clumsy at times, falling on the floor, but is he falling on the floor or is he diving for a loose ball? I mean, you tell me. You be the judge on that one.
A lot of guys on the floor in the NBA right now. So for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah, true.
Ruining the sport. But Jake, what'd you see out of him last night that you were liking? I think he played, 20 minutes or so. He was out there a good chunk, even before it was complete, bullshit garbage time.
Yeah, the way he just came in and just instantly just gelled with everybody on the team. It just felt like he was already been playing minutes the whole season. It didn't seem like he was just out of place or anything like that. He just was needed where he needed to go. Buckets were falling. Defense was going good. Offensive rebounds were looking nice. It just looked like he's been playing all season with us. So that was nice.
Yeah, and kind of surprising. I really didn't know what to expect. And I think that's important to note as well, is like when you get thrown into these games at the end with Rob and Juzang and Leonard's trying to get his, like, it's
Lenny.
not real basketball. And yeah, shout out Lenny.
It's
like,
pickup ball. It's exactly what Rob wants to play.
It's chaos, and it's guards. Guards will have the ball. They're the ones that are going to dictate pretty much everything that's going on. So you can't really throw a lot of stock into it. I do like that they throw Ingles out there just to kind of be like, hey, dude, like, here's how you run a pick and roll. I got you. Yeah, like just kind of hold his hand a little bit. But Phil, what'd you see out of the youngin? I think he's still only 19.
Yeah, I was actually surprised looking at the box score. Yeah, I was surprised looking at the box score that he didn't have any blocks, because he definitely was altering shots. I know there was one they tried to throw a lob to,
didn't he?
It says 0 on here.
Swine box keep or
yeah, right.
Just
well, and there was one where he just, I don't know if he deflected it, but they were trying to throw a lob to Giannis, and he wasn't afraid to go up there and contest the shot. Efficient. Seemed like it didn't really affect him as far as being too big for the moment or anything like that. I know he had some garbage minutes at the end, but played 30 minutes. So I mean that's a good sample size.
Yeah, to me, and I think to everyone, the thing that stands out is, like, and you said 30 minutes, like, the dude is like in crazy shape. He's super fast. It's not like, oh, he's fast for a big guy. Like, that guy can fucking move. And he's got a gas tank, and he plays his ass off. So, like, everything he was doing is kind of just like what you'd want out of a big who's kind of thrown into minutes that he hasn't had before. Is like, dude, just go play hard, get us extra chances on the offensive glass, control the defensive glass, and just be a presence in the paint at the rim. And I mean, he did that. And then some of the extra stuff, you're kind of like, man, I didn't even know he was this far along. And that to me is like what's going to be interesting watching him, is just like the rate at which he improves for a guy that, when we drafted him, it was like, this dude's been playing basketball for like 4 or 5 years only. And he just went 17th in the draft. So it's just kind of a crazy situation. And like, he was catching and finishing and like reverse under the rim layup kind of shit. And I'm just like, man, my first thought when all that was going on was like, it's almost like we know they're trying to draft Rudy's replacement, but they're like, if we get like a 19-year-old, we can just mold this guy into the likeness of a center we want. Like, we've got Rudy, he can learn from Rudy, but like, let's see if we can get a guy with some hands and some speed and like just all the extra stuff that you feel like you weren't getting from Rudy. And then guess what? Rudy's delivering on that this year. So now we don't have to like throw him into these minutes right away, but I think you could, like, the scenario we saw it on Christmas, and that was kind of the height of like the non-Rudy minute stuff when like we lost Gobert late in that game to fouls, and you're like, we got fucking nobody for Jokic. And I'm not saying that he's going to be able to handle him either, but like at some point you would at least be able to like, hey, we got another big body we can throw at him at least. Or maybe you throw him on Gordon and you do the thing where like he's the help defender or something like that. But it's another card to play at least. And this is game one. That's why I think the Ingles 4, like, don't play him when Rudy's suspended and then just, throw him back into storage. Like, let's keep, throwing him a little something here or there in that second quarter. And then, like they've done with Rob a little bit, where it's like, if you play shitty in the second quarter, that was your chance to get in the second half. So I think, I think everybody's been I think he nailed a free throw as well. Like the little extra things with the Rudy stuff not giving you, you're like, oh shit. But it'll be interesting. I'm very curious. Like you said, Jake, with like, Finch's rotation, like it ain't easy to crack, but if he does start to show you something, it's like, who does he take minutes from? Like, we all think probably like Conley, like just play bigger.
A little bit, a couple of mics again, but you take some of Rudy's minutes away, let him rest up. It's a long season. He's an older man now, so I'm not saying like a lot, just 5. And then the Joe Ingles 4, that's 9 right there. That's plenty of time for him to just to stay loose and warm, just so he doesn't got to go back to Iowa either. I just want him here playing now. It's just you can fit it in. It's just, will Finch do it? Probably not, but hopefully.
Yeah, stay tuned.
I was going to say, well, I was actually just thinking, and I heard you mention the rotation and just like how hard it is to crack the rotation. And aside from J, Bones Highland was awesome last night, and he's been playing consistent minutes for, I think they mentioned it like every single broadcaster, like this is the 16th game in a row or he's part of the rotation. And Kyle Tighe had a tweet actually that said Bones Highland resurrecting his career in Minnesota has been a fun subplot of the season, but it says much like Nickeil Alexander-Walker did before him, which got me to thinking just about the development within the staff. And we just mentioned J, Bones Highland, Nickeil, and it just makes me think like, is Rob really like just not good? Because with the development of these other guys, Jalen Clark also, they've proven that they can take guys that, I mean, with J, like time will tell, I guess. Like he's only played a couple games, but these other guys haven't done much in the league. And I don't know, man. Rob, I mean, not to get off on a side tangent about Rob, but like, is he here past the deadline? I don't know.
What do you think, Jake?
No, I don't think so. I think there'll be some kind of small trade that we make. That's all we really need, I believe, too, this year is just something small, maybe a Rob and Mike for some bench play that could be like the 7th or 8th off the bench or something like that. But that's pretty much all I see going. But yeah, no Rob, sorry, bud. It's a fun time here. Hopefully some new scenery does you good elsewhere, but it ain't here. It ain't now for sure.
Do you guys think that with like the emergence of how Bones is played now, that it's necessary still to go get another guard, another big? I know it was just one game last night where these guys really showed out. What kind of, are you still looking for a specific position, or are we just maybe like, hey, grab a veteran that can play if need be type of thing?
Yeah, that's a good question, because like, who are we sending out? Is it just Rob? That's one thing. Like, I feel like maybe a wing would actually maybe be the target at this point. If you're going to keep Bones and Mike, I would put Bones ahead of Mike. Just like, who am I wanting to play in the playoffs?
Sure.
I guess it can depend on the series. Mike is smart and all that, and maybe he'll he'll do all right with a couple days in between every game in the playoffs. But I think with Baron J, it's like I already am just kind of like not really feeling like we have this giant need for a backup big now at this point. That to me was like the best part of watching him play last night. So I could see a wing. What do you think, Jake?
Just be nice to go just get a. I still wouldn't mind somebody to bring the ball up, nice ball handler. Even though we got Bowens and everybody else that's doing it now, but just one in the playoffs would be, I think, just even more make me feel more comfortable. But also, if you just give me a guy that could just sit in the corner and hit an open three in the corner, because we don't got any of those players on this team, so that would be a nice spot to have. Yeah, that'd be real nice to have on this team.
Yeah, just in some depth, because it's like, I know Ant is Ant. He's kind of playing point guard to bring it up if we are against the Thunder. I think that's your concern. Like, just that specific matchup is like, I would love just any extra ball handler would be nice, because I don't even like Conley. I definitely can't handle him bringing it up. Bones maybe, but yeah, there's not and then I guess your next choice, like, is it Julius and Nas? Like, that's pretty scary. We saw how that worked in the playoffs last year. So I think, another ball handler wouldn't hurt, especially if you're sending a couple out potentially in the trade. I know Io DeSumo is a guy that people keep wanting out of Chicago, and I don't know if he's a guy. I think you have to re-sign him as well. But I think, Rob, like, I was wondering about like that Cleveland game on Saturday when Conley was sitting for rest. I'm like, all right, Rob, let's throw him in there for a few minutes, see what we got. And Jaden gets in foul trouble, and Ingles comes into the game, and you're like, they have no intention of playing Rob at all.
Right.
And same with last night with some guys out. Rob didn't get in until it was full on garbage time. Yep. And I'm like, I think they're just like, dude, we're going to trade you, and we can't have you even getting hurt or something like that. So he'll be gone at least in the summer. Like, maybe he survives the deadline, but he ain't here for the future. And I think, Phil, you made a great point where it's like all these other guys are showing improvements in their game. And every time I see Rob in these garbage time minutes, I'm just like, the guy just doesn't fucking get it at all. He doesn't know how to play basketball. He doesn't take those minutes seriously at all. And I think they're just kind of like, well, hey, man, like, maybe it's just best to, cut our losses now rather than wait a year when we kind of really could use another bench piece. And he could go get that for us. I don't know where you're sending him, but he needs to go to a place where he can just play on a shitty team and, see if that even works. So,
it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for him. I know, like, Mike Conley's kind of a name thrown out in trades just to make money work. I know, like, the Bulls have just been that's the talk all the time. So, some guard from the Bulls. But I thought
any of them will do.
It's kind of interesting though, because it's like, I know it's a business and I know Mike's not a part of the long term, but is it a dick move to trade Mike Conley? Like, just from a business standpoint? You know what I mean? It's unless it's like some blockbuster. If it's like, we'll trade him for, AO from the Bulls or something like that with Rob. It's like, man, I just wonder how that looks as an organization, if that's something they actually put thought into, which I would guess they do.
No, I don't think that has anything to do with it. It's a business. We're trying to win championships here, not make best friends. So sorry, Mike, I love you, but I'll still cheer for you wherever we trade you to. But sorry, man. We're about going up here, not going backwards.
I think, if it's something they could do, like, we're like, maybe there's two options. Like, we'll send Mike to like better situation if if it comes to that. Or I don't think they care at all, dude. They traded Carl. Tim Connolly traded Carl, man. Like, anybody is up for grabs, I feel like, after that. So, sorry to send you out to Sacramento or whatever, but like, let them buy you out and come right on back.
Also possible,
what the rules are for that. I feel like I don't think you can go back to your same team. Thanks, Silver. Fucking Gear Up 14, what up? He's wondering what trade Rob and Mike for Tyus, or would you trade Rob and Mike for Tyus? Or would you
Or
rather
Trey?
get Trey Jones? I know keeping up with the Joneses. I'd rather have the younger one than I think Tyus is kind of fallen off. What
I
do you
think
guys
that
of
ship
Joneses?
the Tyus Jones ship has sailed. We were trying to get him back here for so many years. I think even last year, there's probably talks in the offseason before last season. But I don't know. Trey Jones is that's another guy in the Bulls, right? He's mentioned
Trey.
Yeah, he's mentioned along with those other two. So I think it's just whatever they think can work, like we say in Tim, we trust.
Yeah, I think they're exploring all options. I don't know that Conley, it's like, yeah, if we can send him to a good home, that's we'll try, but hey, no promises.
Send him to a big farm with all his friends on it. He's gonna have a good time.
Yeah. You'll live forever.
You live forever, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah. And you wonder too, like, is there stuff like locker room stuff, leadership stuff, just maturity, IQ that they're like, you know what, it's worth just keeping them, and we can trade Dillingham and Leonard or something. If I think Mike gets thrown in if it's somebody making a bigger chunk of change rather than somebody on like the edges. But I do think they're going to do something. But trade deadline, I think in a few weeks here, we're always in the rumors, so we'll be talking. I think it is that Tuesday, I want to say, maybe, or no, it's a Thursday actually, pretty close. But we're cruising right now. The other part is like, I mean, they got a good thing going right now, so shaking it up at this point. Definitely not for like a Morant or somebody like that. I don't think that'll happen at all this season, but
it's got to be around the edges.
Get the bench going. Highland's helping. Nas, I think, is front runner for 6th man of the year. He's been awesome. And then, like, what are you going to get from Clark every night? I think they just want one or two more like reliable guys. Just the playoffs are fucking grind, man. If you're just playing like that same 6 that we've got a very, very good top 6. And then after that, it's like, what are we going to be getting? And I think they understand that adding another piece could really help quite a bit.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned just kind of you don't want to do a big shakeup because things are going well. There's a tweet here from Wolves lead. Wolves in 2026 so far, 5-1. First in offensive ratings, 6th in defensive ratings, 2nd in net rating, and either 1st or 2nd in every effective field goal percentage that you can have. So really playing well.
30th in free throws.
30th in free throw percentage, which is pretty bad. Dante's hit a nice hot streak finally. I think he's really hot or cold, but right now I think it was like last 5 games, 21 for 42, 50% from 3.
Yeah.
Been waiting for that. Been waiting for that one.
Yeah, he's a streaky. What's the receiver in fantasy that you would compare, like the guy who has 4 games a year that are like 38
Quentin
points.
Johnson or 0.
Yeah, there you go.
And then you don't do anything the rest of the year, but then you look at it at the end of the season and you're like, hey, receiver 14 or something like that. I feel like Deshaun Jackson was that way for a while. Like that's what we got going on with Dante. It's like he'll just miss like for a week straight, and then he can't make anything 2 weeks straight.
T Higgins is kind of like that, where he'll give you all or nothing. He was a little more consistent at this year, but he's kind of that guy too. Which version are you going to get this week?
Yeah, I hate those guys. I'd rather just give me the
I know.
Give me the 2 for 5 from 3 or 3 for 7 every night instead of the 1 for 9, 1 for 8, 0 for 8, 5 for 5, 4 for 6, 5 for 6. It's like, man, it drives you crazy because these are all just wide open shots too. And it's like crazy to see a good shooter like be so hot and cold like that. But we gotta be hoping for a hot streak through the playoffs, and we'll probably see a little bit of both throughout. But all right, any last Wolves thoughts? We mentioned the free throws. It's like, imagine if we could make a free throw, what the ratings could possibly be. It was funny last night. Their halftime splits were like 67, 62, 33. 1 for 3 at the line at half, of course. Let's pivot to Vikes. I know we're kind of pissed off and we're over those guys a little bit, but was it today Jordan Addison arrested, or was that, I guess maybe it was last night or whatever, but trespassing. Here we are again. What is it? Arrest number 3, to the point where I'm just like, I'm not even reading what he did, or I don't give a shit if it was, these will be dismissed or whatever. I'm done with them. Kind of been that way for a little while, or at least definitely interested in exploring trades for him. Jake, what do you think we can even get for him in a trade at this point?
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of tough, especially this third strike now. It's just kind of a even more eye-opening one to the rest of the league, I bet. Even though it was a smaller violation this time, he wasn't driving a million miles in a car or anything like that. Just trespassing. It sounded like he didn't want to leave the bar at closing time or something like that, so they had to kick him out, and then he just kind of lingered around a little bit, and then the cops had to get called because he didn't want to go. So I mean, is it horrible? No. Is it bad? Yes.
What a way
I don't know,
to
man.
Sorry to cut you off. I was just thinking, what a way to get arrested, and the headline is trespassing, because that's not the first thing you think of when trespassing. You're like, man, what the fuck is he into? What is going on here?
Yeah.
No, I agree, you guys. Like, I don't know what we could get. Like, just put him out there and see what the highest pick you can get is, maybe. But it's weird. All these like situations have been weird, right? Like, I think the very first one was that speeding one, and it was something about, I don't even know if it was real, but it's like, hey, how's this dog doing? Wasn't it something with the dog?
Yeah, just run his dog at the vet. Yeah.
Yeah, like, is that true? That's the middle of the night. The thing at LAX, this thing now, they're like, oh, maybe he was wrongfully identified and he'll be exonerated or whatever. And it's like, I don't know, man. Like 3:46 in the morning. I mean, you're just putting yourself in a bad situation. So I don't know. I'm with you guys. I think it's just time. And I mentioned last week, he just seemed like the only guy on the team that was just kind of just out there going through the motions the last 5 games. So might just be time. And we love receivers. So let's get a different one. Jake?
One.
Yeah, keep on drafting them, baby. Every year.
The guy just doesn't get it. Like, he's clearly just an idiot and keeps putting himself in these situations. And it's like, dude, you can keep saying it was a crazy situation with your dog or whatever. It's like, to me, that's just like, you're not taking accountability, and like, where there's smoke, there's fire, man. Like, and you've been caught 3 times, and it's like, well, what else have you been up to that nobody found out about? I'm completely done with them, and we're just, you can't pay this guy money, right? I think he's going into his final year. His value might not be anything, but it's like, don't fall into the trap of paying this guy. See what you can get for him.
This is really cheap all of a sudden. Now he's going to be going for 3 years, maybe $5 million a year. Then we'll take him. Yeah, come on in, brother.
Nice, might be
play whatever games you're not suspended for, and we'll call it even.
Right. Yeah. Wasn't there a situation like overseas too that
he suspended?
They missed curfew.
Missed curfew. So he like missed the first half or the first quarter or something. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. Like, the things we don't even know about. That's an even bigger red flag too.
Yeah, he needs help. I mean, or just grow up. I mean, it's not like, we've seen worse shit off the field throughout sports, but I mean, these are just little things where it just shows you that he's just not really taking any of it seriously. Mm-hmm. And so where does it end, right? Like, I don't want to be the one having to deal and rely on this guy. He's benefited from playing across from Jefferson, so it's like, how good even really is he? So, and
just
I'm good to just move on. Resign Naylor.
Yeah. I was going to say Jefferson, what better guy to learn from also. Like, you never hear anything with him off the field, so.
Right. Yeah, and here he is just, it's not rubbing off at all. So, right. Good luck to him. I don't know if it'll be before the draft. I'd be fine. Just give me any pick, whatever. I don't even care. Just unload this guy, this character.
Free 3.
So that's kind of what's going on in the Vikings world. I know they had a couple of. Yeah, right. Free three. That's good. Wild card weekend. I got to pull this up. I was tracking this last week, but yeah, we did our rankings. Who are we wanting to take L's? Pretty solid setup. We, kind of really only did once you get to a certain point, it's like, well, we're not really hating on some of these teams. It's like, it is what it is. We've got our list. We've got some big fish to fry at the top of the board. We'll worry about that and get down the list as we go. But man, we wanted the swine out, and I don't think you couldn't have hand scripted a better way for that to go down. I mean, that was just fucking delicious. We're still on cloud 9 here on Wednesday. LaFleur still has a job, but like, Jesus Christ, was that?
We're talking about extending him, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
Cherry on top.
Please.
Yeah.
Blank check.
Which is crazy with like, there's some now all of a sudden pretty big names on the market with Tomlin and Harbaugh and Jason Garrett. So getting the swine out. Have you seen who the Titans are interviewing? They apparently do not have a newspaper or internet at all. It's like Jason Garrett. And I can't. They hired or they interviewed the guy who just got fired from the Cardinals. So they're looking fine.
Well, who's list? Yeah.
Sorry, bud. It's just you're gonna have to do the Malik Willis. But so the swine go out. That, like we said, that was just fucking beautiful the way it happened. Phil, any apologies to the Bears? One of my takeaways after that game was a little bit of a respect at their hatred to the swine.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed seeing that. So I was kind of like, maybe we pushed them a little too hard throughout the year.
I don't know if there is some respect to be shown just because they did what we wanted them to do and take care of the swine. I mean, that's in and of itself. We tip the cap to that for sure. I mean, they are like a pretty fun young team, but how far can they go when you spot a team that many points? Like, I know that they're like the comeback team this year, and I think they even mentioned at halftime, they got them right where they want them, and they came back and won. But
sure did.
That luck will run out eventually. They got the Rams this weekend, so we'll see. We'll see.
Very weird how it's all their wins the same way. Like, could you guys ever just have a lead and just win a game?
Just play a normal football game? Yeah.
Just be good? Like, they were going to win the bowl doing this. Good. We got it. That's the other thing. It's like, all right, respect, but hey, division.
Yeah.
Stafford. All right, bud. So they were the number one, obviously, that's a Wembanyama, top of the board, number one choice to get bounced in the playoffs. And then to have it just a Saturday night, that for all to see, I think I'll be rewatching that second half quite a bit throughout the off season. And then we got Rodgers bounced on Monday night. And, I don't know if that was a surprising situation. I mean, we kind of thought that would be just an ass ugly game. And that's another one where it kind of helps me, like, all the Rodgers shit throughout the off season. It's like, dude, this guy is fucking old as shit. All right. Could we have made the playoffs with him or something? Yeah, maybe. We would have been sent home pretty fucking early. So I'm not really ever second guessing going after him.
No.
But not his fault.
No,
they didn't block good enough for him. They didn't block good enough.
Run good routes, then you catch the ball. It's insane how angry he was all game too.
It's the fucking ball, DK.
He was so pissed all game.
You know what? We usually save shout outs for the end, but we're on the subject. So my shout out, I have to do it now, is to Mike Tomlin. And 19 years, never had a losing season, did win a bowl in there, always been like a good coach, right? And he gets 1 year with Aaron, and he's like, I'm out of here.
Done.
He's like, that's
maybe the most
dude.
impressive thing he did was get them to playoffs with Aaron, with that piece of shit in the locker room. Look what he did to the Jets. Like, Tomlin got, at least, they held the line and he got a winning season again, made playoffs, won the division, even though it was like, everything kind of went their way with the Ravens and Burrow was hurt, and the Browns just trying to get it.
Just quick mention.
Harold Fannin, what up?
Hey.
The Rodgers is out. The Eagles out. They cost me a good chunk of change, but whatever.
Oh.
Like another just ass ugly game. The Eagles, every game they play, there's some stat between some amount of time that's pretty significant, quarters, whatever, where they're like, they have one completion for the last 23 minutes of gameplay. It's like, what are these guys doing? I don't get how they're so bad on offense. They lost Kellen Moore, who was a good offensive coordinator for a long time. He goes and becomes head coach for the Saints, and they already relieved whoever the hell replaced him of his duties. You know, that's an easy scapegoat, I guess, but just miserable games that they kept putting on for all of us to have to watch. And you know, even losing Kittle, they still couldn't get a win. Like, it was just a disgrace all around. And I'm glad we're all glad to have them fucking out of this. Nobody wanted to continue watching their bullshit. So those are top three.
They'll have the scapegoat too. AJ Brown will be the scapegoat. He dropped that one pass, and it's like, man, you guys are so full of problems all over the place. Like, Jalen Hurts deserves all kinds of criticism. Like, I know he won a bowl. They've been there twice. Like, there's definitely something there. But then you have a season like this, and you're like, well, what the hell happened? And the same with Saquon too. What happened to him? He looks cooked all of a sudden. Very strange.
And that's what's the weirdest is this is basically they ran back a Super Bowl championship team. And all of a sudden it's like, yeah, we just suck. Like, if we don't have Lane Johnson, this whole thing falls apart. It's just so bizarre. So it's like, I don't know if it's Kellen Moore. I don't have a lot of respect for Sirianni. No, I don't think nobody does, especially in Philly. So good for them to be gone. The next one on our list was Bears, but we may have to reassess. They did us a solid. Okay, so you guys are off the hook. Next one was Broncos. Broncos and Seattle were the next two. So obviously they could not lose a bye week. That sounds like something the Vikes would be doing.
Hey, and after Sean Payton's comments today, it very much reiterated why we want the Broncos out. And it has nothing to do with their fans, city. It was just a reporter asking him a question, and he was talking about, I forget what player it is. They got a linebacker back, I think, from injury. And the reporter was just talking about a certain style that he plays. It's like he plays downhill, blah, 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 whatever. And Peyton just like rips him. He's like, what do you know about playing downhill? And like, it's just like a 15-second clip. And it's like, this guy's just a fucking prick. Nobody likes him, especially around here. But it goes like, I talk to fans that aren't even Vikings fans, and they're like, that guy sucks. Like, it's pretty clear to everybody. When you cheat and win a Super Bowl, I mean, it's pretty clear nobody likes you. So they'd be the first one out for me now. I think even over the Bears.
Agreed.
Yeah.
The Bears at least create some watchable chaos, you know?
Sure.
So, yeah. And that game was so fucking crazy, man. Like, in the first half, I'm like, man, Ben Johnson is he trying to get fired? They were going for some fourth downs where you're just like, holy, I mean, I get it. He was looking at his defense like, we have to go score. Like, these guys are going to give up. And he was kind of right about that at the time. But then if you look at it for the big picture, it's like, did you really have to do that? You might have been able to set yourself up, but whatever. Momentum changes shit. But yeah, the Bears, I don't mind watching them play. Caleb, like, for all the shit, you know, there's good and bad. Like, he can make some crazy throws. So you can see what they see in him. But then it's, I guess the other one, Panthers was on the list too. You know what? Credit to them. They gave us a watchable game that almost would have just killed everybody's betting card. But then what are we still feeling the same about Seattle and Darnold? They're pretty big favorites now. I think with the Niners coming in again, banged up as usual. Yeah. Are we still anti-Sam? I guess it's going to maybe depend on who he's facing. Like, what if it was Seahawks Bears?
God damn,
that's hilarious, and that's a very real possibility. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Where we at with that?
I don't know, man. It's tough. Like, it's just like not a personal reason, but it's just the Vikings reason of having everybody tell us that we fucked up by letting Sam Darnold go if he does get to a bowl or even just the conference finals. So I kind of need them high on my list to just not do anything. Or maybe if they do and just Sam looks terrible, we could do that. That's fine by me. If they win and Sam still throws like 3 picks and maybe a touchdown, that's fine. But yeah, I can't have him doing anything good.
Yeah, I think I would.
Their
go
defense
Bears.
is really good. I don't know, man. I'm not as real like anti Sam. Like Jake said, it's the Vikings theory of it all, right? The David Ortiz of it all, but it's not even that. Like if you look at that whole thing, like David Ortiz was here for like 5 years before he left, and that whole thing. Sam was just a sped up version. I don't know. He gave us a fun season last year. I'm not really hating on them too much. So Seattle or Bears, I'd probably just go Seattle. Like I just NFC North, dude. That's more for where I'd be at.
Let's just go Rams.
That doesn't make it easy. Go Rams.
Please, Rams. Maybe throw some balls a little more on target. Maybe catch a couple that you should. That would be helpful. Like what game probably wouldn't even been close if those plays were happening.
Yeah, but then it's like what's with Stafford's like finger or something got all fucked up. They still came back to win the game, but
Stafford doesn't have very good numbers in the cold either, so that's a little alarming for the Chicago game this weekend. But we'll see.
Yeah, I don't feel great about many of these games, but yeah, I think Peyton for sure. Get rid of him. They're going up against Josh Allen. That's like an easy bandwagon for everybody to be on right now. So
yeah, for sure.
Feeling good about that. All right. Sony Open, one and done. Here we are. Jake, please refresh the audience, not me, the audience, of how we're doing this. Because I obviously remember.
Yeah. Before I'd done it. All right, we're just all 3 of us are gonna each rank what golfer we want to use 1 through 3. Use it as our like the awards for like the NBA and stuff like that. First place gets 3 points, second place 2 points. Your third place guy will get 1 point, and whoever has the most points between the 3 of us will be our one and done pick for that week. I think it's just a fair way to do it. That way we don't all have to think we know who's going to be the better player, because obviously we don't, if you've listened to anything we've said over the past couple of years.
Casuals, of course.
Casual right. One and done. Yeah.
All right.
So
Somebody
Jake,
kick this thing off. Jake, you kicking it off?
Yeah.
Sure. Should we just each give our 3 out?
Yep.
Yeah. I'll go for it.
Okay.
Down.
My number 1 pick is going to be the homie JJ Spawn. Number 2, Henley. Number 3, CC Corey Connors.
Oh my gosh, we have so many different ones here.
That's what I was thinking too. Is like somehow we're gonna have like 9 different dudes, and then
I know we're gonna have to
we're
gonna have to battle this. God, that's hilarious. So, my number 1 I mentioned last week. I picked McNeely last week, and I just had a good feeling about him. So that's my 1. 2, Ben Griffin.
Griffed out.
And then 3, I had like more of a flyer, and this would probably be more of a betting one, but I had Chris Kirk. He played well at this course, and he's finished their top 5 3 times. So that's kind of where I was at. So Hags, hopefully you have somebody different, because that's 6 different names that we just threw at you. Or hopefully you have somebody that's the same.
I think we're gonna have a tie.
Okay.
My number 1 was Corey Connors, and then I had big, thick Harry Hall.
He might have been my 4th.
Just because, like, my whole process for this is just who can I use that I don't really anticipate having a clear spot for later on. Like,
I think Henley's it's only 30 tournaments, I think. So keep that in mind as well too. If there's somebody out of the top 30, let's just chill. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're throwing out like, hey, Nico Echeverria, you're like, dude,
we're not trying to hit the 150 to 1 odds here. We're not getting paid out like that.
Yeah, go do that pervy shit in the fall series.
Who-
Okay.
Who I also did bet on this week. So thank you,
Hey,
Nico.
all right.
Perfect.
I had to shout him out. But so I went Connors, Harry Hall, and then Henley was my third. So I think points system wise, Phil, thanks for your 3 picks. We're gonna.
Hey, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Hey,
discard
I'm gonna
those.
bet them all. So we'll
Yeah, throw him into
yeah.
DK.
we got receipts.
I hope you make money.
It's all good. It's all good.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Connors and Henley would both have 4 points in this voting system, right?
No. Henley would have 3. Connors has 4. So Connors is our guy. Henley with the 3rd place and a second place. Connors
Corey
with a 3rd and a
Connors.
1st. Corey Connors is our guy.
Just
He's never
there you
failed
go.
us in anything ever.
Oh,
Oh, my
yeah,
God.
Masters 2 years ago. Yeah.
What's his fucking tea time? I don't even want to know.
That's another thing. Hopefully,
Nope.
hopefully it's an early tea time. They're saying that's the window.
Yeah, some weather. It looks like it's gonna be tougher.
The windy.
Love that. Make it crazy.
Yeah, he's due to help us out, you would think, but
Hey, you're back in
obviously-
focus. That's nice.
I know. I was trying to mess with that, but I'm like, well, what do I know? Just in time to wrap it all up.
Right.
So you had a shout out. You already burned yours with Tomlin, right?
Burned
Or do you
mine,
guys
yep.
have any other Sony Open things that you wanted to get out for PGA? What time does it start?
I got
It's like
Like
11.
11 or
later
something,
one,
that
right?
time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Primetime golf coming up, boys. Nothing wrong with
all
that.
that for the weekend. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's first week. Not too many GK lineups, but just tossing a handful out there just to get
Yeah,
the juices
too.
flowing a little bit.
Mhm. Wet the beak. Yeah, Sony. I do kind of wish they still had the Tournament of Champions, just as like a, we're going in. There's no recent form. Like you're going back a long time to be trying to look at how guys are playing, and nobody
Yeah.
knows what anybody was doing in the last 6, 7, 8 weeks, whatever. Except Aaron Rye, he won a nice DP World event in the fall, I think. But yeah, this is just get us back in the routine. Thursday through Sunday, we've got some fantasy shit to monitor, and it's just a good change of pace from like all the fucking injury bullshit in the NFL that we've been fucking around with for the last 5 months. So always good. So anybody else got shout outs? You said Tomlin. That was a good one. Putting up with fucking Aaron for a year, and then he's like, "No, I'm out." He's ruined football for me forever.
Hey, was Flores? I know, like he had mentioned, like dream job. Was it Steelers? Because I know they were interviewing him today, and I'm like,
He's interviewing for DC positions as well.
yeah, just seeing
So
what's
it's
out
like,
there.
is he butthurt at the Vikes or something, or is it just like, hey man,
Mad at us?
Maybe just seeing if you can get the little more in the wallet.
so then pay him. If it's
Yeah.
a DC position, like that's I think a big mistake. If he somehow gets out of the building as a D coordinator somewhere else, then they've really fucked up. But I think he's going to get hired as a head coach, one of these spots. Raiders,
Yeah, I think so too. It's just
Steelers now,
never will
Ravens.
now. Yep.
Yeah, damn, it's gonna hurt.
If he does, good for him because he deserves
Yeah.
it for sure.
Yeah, well
did.
earned.
He
Just
did us
butthurt
well.
for being a fan.
Yep.
Jake, any shout outs or what do you got?
The only thing I got is the Sean McVay playoff thing that he's got going right now. This would be his 15th game of playoffs, and he hasn't played a team twice in the playoffs, like ever. Like he's never had a repeat opponent in his whole playoff career. It's the weirdest thing. I just think that's insane that could even happen.
So that must mean because he went to one Super Bowl. You said this is the 15th, so there's like one team he hasn't played in the NFC. Then
I think
Yeah,
that's
it's
it.
done.
that's
So,
there's just one team. That's crazy.
It's the Panthers, I believe it would be. No, they play them this year. Sorry, That's the
Giants.
top of the list.
I think it was Giants. maybe.
Giants are not on the list. Yep.
And then he
Yeah, but
played
all the other ones.
Bengals and
Bengals in the Super Bowl, right?
and Patriots.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Yeah. I forgot about that
Yeah.
previous one.
Like, how is that even possible? I remember seeing that.
That's
on
an insane
X.
stat.
I'm like,
Yeah.
how the fuck? I'm like, there's no way this is real. Like, how is that possible? But yeah, that was fucking crazy. I got one. I still have to read this article. It came out today, but we've got some developments with the Sirs, of course. Tom Haberstraw, long time NBA reporter. I don't know if you guys have you seen this, heard about this. We've got another situation here with the Sirs where we've got a clear point where free throw rate just plummets out of nowhere. And this is all stuff that, you can shit on gambling all you want, but these are the guys, they're tracking all this kind of shit. So it's not just, for their own pocketbook, right? They're also kind of like keeping the integrity of these games in check. And I don't know what Silver, and of course it was right as like we turn the calendar. Like, if that wouldn't be just so fucking obvious for Adam to do that, but like the free throw rate dropped like 20%. We saw this a couple of years ago, but it was more like all-star game time frame.
Yeah.
So
Bench.
just
Take a bow.
He, I'm sure, has something to do with this, even though he needs to be fired immediately. No. But we've always said it. We're like, dude, they can change this shit if they want. All this flopping, it's fixable, and they've ignored it. And for whatever reason now, something Silver has found or saw, he put his freaking greasy thumb on the dial or on the scale, and just had it tanking for the first couple weeks here in January. So, and guess what else happened during that time? OKC kind of struggling. Isn't that kind of funny?
Weird.
Shocking.
Just validation for
Yep.
us ball knowers.
Yep.
That's all it really is. So, and a lot of people who watch the NBA are like, we all see it. We're like, these aren't fouls. Why do these guys get the fucking whistle like that? So hopefully things are being done. I know he'll fuck it up somehow, some way, or change it back for playoffs or something. It's like, why can't we have just a standard set of rules? Isn't that a great idea?
Don't need a plaque to shoot free throws.
What the fuck are we talking about here with this league? Every time, Adam Silver. So fuck him. That's my shout out.
You should just have that be your shout out every week. Just the annual, the weekly "fuck you," Adam Silver.
That's what we should just sign off every show with that, like, hey, fuck Adam Silver. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Happy holidays, and fuck Adam Silver. That's fine with me. I don't mind.
Love it.
So next week, Jake, you'll have to update us or the audience with the one and done. I think you are submitting the picks. So
yep, you got us.
Spoiler alert: $0 earned. Corey Connors miscut.
Yep.
Yeah. Get a bunch of DraftKings lined up while you can.
We know what it is. Yeah, exactly. All right, fellas. Any last words? Or are we good? We good to roll?
I think we're good.
Go Wolves. Big weekend. Couple more games. Friday, Saturday, I believe. If I'm not mistaken.
All right.
Sounds right.
Gira. Yeah. All right, homies. We'll catch you guys next week. Take her easy. Fuck Adam Silver.